So I'm staying at home, talking shit to a cameras, and I don't even know if anybody's out there listening to me, but I don't care. What's mattered the most right now is just me and myself, and live in the moment. That's what they say. It's kind of cliche, but that's all I've been praying for the past few years, to have moments like these when my mind is not on anything, right? Just kind of retard maxing everything out. And because all my life I've been an overthinker, always thinking, even when I'm asleep. And it kind of sucks because sometimes you just want to let it go. You want to live like normal people. Yeah, sometimes I do wonder what normal people, what they would feel and how they live their life. I yearn for that. See, I mean, most of the time people aim to be special, but for me, I try to be normal. With this shitty ADHD things going on, I hated it. No, it's not like a jewelry that I want to wear. Oh my God, I have ADHD. I am neurodiverse. I am special. It fuck up your life from inside out, from upside down. It turned your life all around. It sucks. I tell you what, I have this fucking symptom. It's called distractibility, where I can't really focus on anything. You know, like one second I'm on something, and the second after that I'm on something else. And I completely forgot what I needed to do in the first place. How can someone function in a chaotic world when he don't even have that ability to become normal? And that's my deep fear. I mean, I always fear of being useless, because I don't know, but I won't give up. That's a fact. I won't give up, because there are many disabled kids out there. Many, what do they call it? Disadvantaged people. They don't have limbs. They don't have a normal mind. They can't even speak sometimes. But did they give up? No. So why should I? Just because of some dumb thingies going on inside my brain doesn't mean that I cannot fulfill my life with joy, with happiness, with inspiration. I'm full of that, and I yearn for more. Okay, all the big talk, just let us laugh. Okay, so how the hell you doing, brothers and sister? I know there's many of you out there watching me, or just simply curious about what I'm doing, what I've been on. Am I using drugs or any kind of substances? Because I kept talking like some kind of big shot on the internet. I don't know. That's up to you. But I tell you what, I'm trying to stay healthy, and by staying healthy, I mean no caffeine in the morning, and especially no caffeine after 12, and no smoking, of course. I hate smoke. I hate it. No vaping, no smoke, no cigarette, no weed, no, I don't know when. They was cool back when I was in high school. Because back then I was curious about everything. I always wonder, what if I try edibles? Which make me look cool, which make me less anxious when I talk to girls. Curiosity. It can bring you to many good places. but it can also bring you down if you don't know how to control it. Okay, curiosity. It's a two-way street. Anyhow, yeah, I'm trying to stay healthy, and I'm pushing weight at the gym, even though that's not professional or anything. I'm just trying to stay fit, and by fit I mean I'm not trying to lose all my body fat, blah blah blah, just to become slim, but I try to be stronger. Yeah, I mean I'm not shy when I'm telling you that I have a lot of body fat. Visceral fat, that's mean the fat inside your gut, that kind of dangerous, and I'm trying to remove it just because it's dangerous, not because it's ugly. And belly fat, of course, I mean most of the men I mean if you're not like a pro athlete, then most of the time you're gonna get a belly fat and shit. But that's all right, as long as you can do something. I can still do sit up. Sit up is like this, and without any kind of stress. It's just kind of easy, and I'm trying to push more weight every week. I mean, the first week I was in the gym, I can only push like 20 kilogram each. No, not each, totals. With dumbbells and everything, like just 10 each side, and it was exhausting. Sorry, I think my pronunciation is fucked up right now. It's not beer, it's just a... By the way, you have to join Oktoberfest this year. If you don't, you kind of missed out. There are good beers, beautiful women, and good friends. I made some good friends at the Oktoberfest, just telling you that. And I'm drinking tea. Anyhow. And the fucking hell. Yeah. So I'm trying to stay healthy with more new techniques, or trying to discover that it's a cool fact when I go to the gym, and every time I try something new, I discover that I have, mysterious muscle. There's a muscle group that I didn't know they existed before. Weird, right? It's like something beside here, on my outer thighs. I didn't know they were there until I tried to do this leg press shitty workout, and it's got harder. And I swear to God, those muscle groups, they were trembling when I pushed a little bit too hard. And I say, what? I have this muscle? Shit like that. I mean, if I want to be bigger, like double the size where I am right now, or have more muscle, I think it might take me a year or so. And I've been in the gym for like 2 months, but I learned a lot. I'm a fast learner, but also it's because the gym is a good environment. It's a good analogy when it comes to life, challenge, trial, and tribulations. Because when you go to the gym, there's many types of situations that you need to deal with. So first of all, you need to deal with yourself. You need to deal with your ego. Will I push hard today to impress everyone at the gym and endure myself? Ego. They have a word for that, ego lifting. And you also have to deal with your fear, anxiety, because for newcomers like me, the first time I stepped into the gym, it was a lot. I mean, I had to deal with the anxiety that's been going on in me. Because when I go to the gym at peak hours, especially afterwards, when people go to the gym and they want to do the workout, finish their day and shit, and all machines, they are occupied. or there's a people that gathers around the machine that I want to use. And most of the time you will have to have alternative. I mean, if you cannot work with machine, then you have to switch to dumbbells, barbells, whatever works, whatever activates those muscle groups. But during peak hours, oh my fucking God, my pronunciation. I'm sorry, I didn't know what happened. Blah, 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 blah. How can someone pronounce English perfectly and without locking the jaw? I mean, that's her. I think because I went to meetings all day long at work, and I had to speak all day long. Vietnamese, German, English. 8 hours. I don't know why, but I really want to speak today. But my body, I think it's failing me. It's shutting down. Sorry. I need to work it out. Fuck. Don't you find it cool? I mean, the human bodies. If it tells, I mean, you can win anything, but you cannot win over your body. If it tells you to shut up, you have to shut up. I think I'm pushing myself a little bit harder with my jaw. I want to talk, but it won't let me. Okay, back to the game. I think a little bit more water will help. Excuse me. Alright. So, yeah. Where were we? Yeah, the gym. And so first thing you need to deal with your ego, and then you deal with your anxiety. You also need to deal with your temptations. Temptation, I mean, when you go to the gym, there are many people that are in better shape than you. Men, women, okay? They are in better shape than you, and you either grow jealousy or you give them a lustful look. Neither are good, because everybody are in their own games. They walk their own path. So there's no reason for you to be jealous of them or look at them the lustful way. Okay? When you look at somebody you cannot have, it is because you feel like you are lesser than them and they are way more superior than you. It's the same things. It's the same way you look at a Ferrari in a shop house, or you look at somebody's boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, I don't care, something that you cannot have, because deep down inside you feel like, oh, I cannot have her. Will I have her, or will I have it? It's just speculation, you know. Speculation, expectation, and most of the time they are delusional. Stop that shit. Anyhow, you need to lock the fuck in your eyes, in the mirrors, on the ground, up into the roof, the ceiling, forgot. Whatever. Sometimes you give other peoples a glance, but that's how I work. That's how I'm doing at the gym. I'm not saying that you should follow me, but that's what worked for me best. Sometimes, most of the time when I am in a section, I will look down at the ground, because first thing, it will help with my posture, because just imagine when you push the weight like this. Okay, your spine is overgoing. It's like it's undergoing a like heavy stress, and because if you keep looking up and you're doing this accidentally, or unintentionally, you are pushing your spine a little bit harder than it should. It is not designed to do such a thing. So most of the time when I push something off, I look down so that it can de-stretch in this area. And it keep my posture straight, because as you can see, the spine is not always straight. It's not backward. It's a little bit like these. They are the natural curve of the spine, so you have to keep it like this. So when you push it away, I think that's work for me. I don't know how you guys doing it, but that's work for me, because I feel so comfortable in this area, and I still activate my muscle group when I need it. So yeah, and beside it, the voice, because I don't get it. These girls, I'm not saying all girls, but some women's, they go to the gym, they just want attention. And everybody, when somebody look at them, they get furious. And they say, oh, are you man gazing me? Are you male gazing me? Blah, 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 blah. Weirdos. I mean, it's a very tiny space, and you have nowhere to look but yourself in the mirrors, or so that you check off on other people, or you just... What's the point of getting furious when you go into a very narrow place and there's a lot of people there? You can't help it. Okay, back to my topic. By any case, sometimes if you have to look at other people, first thing you need to check on them. No, there are only two purposes. Sometimes because people are pushing harder than they expect at the first place, you should check on them to see if they need help, or do they need any kind of support. Sometimes they just want to say hi to you, just have a quick glance. And sometimes I do give people a look to see what they are working on, because sometimes I can learn things too from them just by looking, observing, right? So yeah, but that's a part of the temptations. Sometimes you need to look at people to be jealous. Oh my God, he have good body shape, I want to be like him, why can't I be like him, fuck him, shit like that. Or you want something that you cannot have, someone you cannot have. It's incel behavior. Stop that shit. Okay. And you also need to deal with the pressures within you from the ways and around you, because sometimes people do look at you. I mean, you won't notice, but at the gym, people often check out on other people, and you have to deal with that. So what? There's many people will look at you, but so what? You need to keep pushing. In my first or second section, when I feel so much pressure, when I feel like there's people that are looking at me, and what if I'm doing this wrong? What if they are laughing at me? Those kind of questions is keep going on in your head. Okay? I get it. It will not go for everyone, but it's go for many people. Okay, including me. And so yeah, you need to deal with that as well. It's a battle, but it's life. And I think life is not easy. There's always challenge, struggles, hardship, trial and tribulations from life, from God. So what do we have to do? Okay? So the first thing is we need to, as I say in my other videos, you need to understand yourself. You need to learn and accept your natures. What are you capable of? And what can you do? No, that's the same thing. Fuck that shit. Yeah. And what can you not do? what you shouldn't do. 3 things, okay? What you can do, what you cannot do, and what you shouldn't do. You can do what you shouldn't do. For me, what I can do is I can go out there, meet people. I'm not for everyone, okay? There's just a lot of people that don't like me because the way I look or the way I talk or because just my energies. They don't fuck with that. And so most of the time they would just avoid me. Well, I don't care. Because like I say, I'm not for everyone, but there are so people that love me. So that's what I can do. I can go out, I can talk to people that I like and they like me back, and I can immerse myself into something new. We human, we are more superiors than most animals because one thing, we know how to reinvent ourselves. And that's a cool fact. For example, an insect like flies, butterfly, they have the same routines from these individuals to another groups. All the same, from this continent to another continent, they're all the same. Okay, starting back from a little, what they call it, larva, and they turn into, what do they call it, a bud, and then they turn to butterfly, and then they do some shit like that until they die. A new generation come out and do the same thing. Okay, but we humans, we learn how to reinvent ourselves. If we don't like where we at, we change. If we don't like the group of people that we are talking to, we change. If we don't like the way we look, if we don't like the way we dress or the way we talk, we change. We learn to change. We learn to adapt. And that's the cool things about humans. And that's why we have the possibility to win at life. Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of big talks and it's all theories, it's all speculation, but hear me out. I think someday that you will come back and you see that, okay, this guy at first he's talking shit, but he might be right. And that's all I need. I don't need to be fluent. I don't need to be beautiful with good camera, with good angles and good microphone and a lot of makeups on my face. I come as I am. And of course, through time, if I think this is good for me and I want to keep it going, I will invest into it more. Start by buying a new microphone, because what you are hearing right now is the built-in microphone from the iPhone that I just bought the new weeks. But yeah, we have the ability to adapt, to become someone new. So, and everybody can do that. I love seeing those body transformation videos on YouTube because it proves my point. It proves my point that if we don't like the way we look, we take a lot of efforts and time and we turn into something new, something so new, so fresh that people won't even recognize. So some people, there was like obese, 100, 200 kilogram. And after 3 years or so, they turn into a muscular man or a very thin girl. Of course, with a lot of blue skin, but they're not shy about it because that's the proof that they change. Wonderful. Yeah, that's what I like. So you should understand yourself. And I think people don't don't mention as much, because all of the podcasts nowadays, they always want you to be self-centered. You head inward, you explore yourself, but you forgot to explore what is out there, and that's not cool. I don't fuck with that. I don't agree with that, because as for me, I like to travel here and there, because I like, and whenever I'm traveling, I like to talk to the locals or any kind of person that I meet on the way, because that is the only way, and not the only way, one of the very good way to learn something new, to change our mind. Okay? All my life, I've been trying to find the meanings, not the meaning of life, but the meaning. What it means to be a man? Not the sigma male, alpha male, or masculine archetype that people been talking on YouTube, and they want you to adapt to those articulations. yeah. A man. It's just as rough as it is. It's not gender based. It's like men here is like what it mean to be a person. That's word is better. What it mean to be someone who have it figured out, have their life, have their shit together. All right. So after all these years of observing, experiencing, and yapping, I think that it's come down to these three things. So first of all, you need to have kindness, and I think that is the most important thing. Kindness is not when you smile to everybody when you see on the street, or when you go on these voluntary charity blah 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 events. That's not, yeah, that's part of a act of kindness, but that's not everything. I don't hate them. I don't, and I still agree with them. I still support them, but that's not everything. Kindness, in my definition, is the ability to understand, first of all, us, and then the other people, what they think, how they look, where they come from, and kindness is something that stands between those, you and other people. And with kindness, you accept them as they are, and you also accept yourself as you are. And kindness brings us all together by binding them to be one unity. It's like, okay, so I used to have an opinion on talkative people. You know, the loud people at the parties or in the class, where they always have to raise their voice. I want to say something. Please give me some attention. I used to hate them because they are so loud, and they seem as they always yearn for attention from other peoples, and they don't look satisfied with what they have. I used to hate them until I actually talked to one of them, and later on many more of them. But it's come down to this. So back in high school, I was talking to a girl. She was the class monitor. Well, how do you call it? Lớp trưởng. Yeah. And she was so loud. She always yelling. And most of the time she yelled at me, because me and the boys, we were so fucked up back then. Yeah, I don't have time to tell you all everything, but we were so fucked up back then, and she hated us, and I hate her too, because why would someone need to yell in order to give opinion? I mean, I used to think like that. Yelling does not help. it doesn't mean that your opinion is more important than mine. But it just shows that you are a fucking scumbag. But later on, when I actually talked to them, and we had this like vacation with the whole class at the end of the course, at the end of the semester, and we went to the lakes. So that's the kind of the mountainous region, and we sit around a campfire, we drink beers, we talk, and then after later past midnight, we split in groups. It's on your, and I had a chance to talk to her. That's a part of the program, because the mission is to reach out to somebody that you haven't talked before. You would usually talk to them during your years. So I chose her, and she chose me. We kind of talked to each other, and I asked her, why are you always loud? What's the reason behind it? And she said that when she was a kid, she always had to yell in order to be heard and seen. Her parents, they neglected her all the time. When I heard her stories, something stuck here. I couldn't say anything. I was stunned and speechless. That is the ability to understand someone, right? But how do I bind my point of view to hers? Because to her, she always has to yell, to be loud, to be aggressive, to stand out. But to me, everybody that speaks louder than 70 decibel is a fucking scumbag. So how do I bind my point of view to hers? So it comes down to the next question. I asked her, what if people hate you for being loud? And she told me that. She is fully aware of that. But she cannot help it. She wanted to, but she cannot help it, because every time she's trying to be soft. Okay, so suddenly when you see somebody just always yelling, and someday they turn soft. You say, hey, how are you doing? Instead of, hey, how are you doing? And you started to feel something weird. And most of the time people would avoid her. I mean, we were little kids back then. We don't have this kind of compassion and shit. Okay? She wanted to change into another personality, the soft side of her. But every time she speaks softly to other people, they think she is weird, or she would want something from them. And to her, that is a big insult. So she had to switch back to her personality. And yeah. And for the first time, I realized that I do have kindness and compassion toward other people is when I feel something hurt in my chest. And I asked her if I can give her a hug. And she said, yeah. So it's not the intimacy that makes things special, but it's the ability to understand someone's story, someone's point of views, and how to bind them together. Okay? And the second things, how to be a man, what it means to be a man is that you must have curiosity. The second thing is curiosity, because curiosity is the foundations of everything. So, for example, how did we discover fire? At first, it was just a natural disaster, like some thunderstorm strike out to the earth, boom, and they burned some trees. Okay? Back then, you were just a fucking monkey. And you didn't know what the hell fire is. Worse, sorry. And to you, it was something dangerous. Dangerous. Okay? It's like a punishment from the God. if we knew what's God's word back then. But this kind of natural disaster, it bring closer. It keep you warm through the night. The monkeys. It's not a monkey, but just for example, the monkey here. He thought, wait, if it's so dangerous, why does it make me feel healthier, better, warmer when I come close to it? What if I throw something to it? So you have nothing in your hand and you have a piece of meat. You used to eat it raw and you throw it in. Then a very flavorful fragrance that just came out of the fire. And it stimulates your brain, it stimulates your appetite. And you ask another question, wait, if it's so dangerous, why it smells so good? And that is why we evolve. We become humans. We create civilization. We create machine. Podcast. Stuffed animal. Curiosity. Right? That should be in the instinct of the human. You always have that. So it's like a treasure. The only thing that is valuable within you is your curiosity. That's what I think. Without it, we are nothing. We would be extinct. Okay? So it's always there. Curiosity is always there. It's your instinct. It's in your DNA. You don't need to be taught. You don't need somebody to teach you that. You always have that. But there are many challenges. And somehow, I think that the modern society with social media and everything else, they are designed to keep your curiosity down, to keep it at the lowest. Because curiosity will bring out the best in people. Okay? Revolutions. Question. Curiosity is make you question everything. And the modern society, they don't want that. Because when you ask too much, they have to answer accordingly. You ask 10 questions. They have to answer 10 questions. If there are 10,000 of you ask the same question, then they have to make it serious. And they don't want that. So they keep it down. So, and somehow people, me, you, we buy into it. We kind of, okay, it's okay if we don't ask too much. I don't know, man, but I've been using social media, and people in my country, they pass the phrase around. Ignorant is bliss. Ignorant is bliss. Okay, if that makes you happy, but for how long? I wonder. Okay. Anyhow, curiosity. Keep questioning. Not in the backward way. Sometimes people ask stupid questions. Like, what is the role of man and woman? Shouldn't be women in the kitchen. That's backward. Move forward. How can we live with a woman better? How can we harmonize with them? That is the forward question. Or how do we eradicate familial traumas for good so we don't have to pass down to our children? That's the forward question. Or how do I become better every day? Okay? You can ask yourself, or you can pray for sign from the universe. This is what I do. I sleep in my bed, and every day I wake up, the first thing I say, even though there's nobody's around, I just I just flash out the curtain right here to see the sun, okay? Butt naked. My arm up in the sky, and as I, God, thank you for another day. What would you have me do today? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it was like that. Curiosity. And the third thing is I think the ability to stand your ground. Okay? In the modern society, we've been flooded with information. There's a lot of them. And in a day, you have to process with a lot of things. Words, life, relationship, death if you have some, your own doubt and anxiety, and dramas. It's a lot. We can be distracted by those. So when it's time to come down to a decision, we forgot what we do in the first place. That was my case, especially when I have the shitty ADHD stuff. I don't remember what I needed to do until it's too late. So that the ability to stand your ground. If you are set out to do something, you finish it. If you set out to believe in something, you believe it. Even if you go down with it, you believe it. Lays all cards on the table. Okay? I think it's cool. It's cool to do such a thing because later on, when you have a family, you have to stand your ground, not for you, but for them. And that's what the case of my father. We don't talk too much, but I admire him. Okay? So 2 years ago, I had this little dispute with the family on my mother's side. Mostly because they was trying to go over my mom's. It's like when grandma died, like 4 years ago, and she left her children an apartment, a house, and every kind of, properties behind. And she left us so fast that she didn't have the time to write down her, how do you call it? I keep testament, not testament. Yeah, it's like her last word in this. You want to give your children what and who will receive it. It's like, yeah. I will figure it out, but I don't remember the word. But she left us so fast that she didn't have the time to do such a thing. So after that, it was kind of chaotic. All the males in the house want everything for their family. And in the same flock, there are only my mom and my aunt. They were the only two women in the house. And with those stupidly traditional family, women are something lesser. They deserve less. They have to do more, but they deserve less. And I don't fuck with that. I still don't fuck with that now. And when they talk to my mom and say, "Hey, I know Grandma gave you a room in this house and everything so that you can stay, but I think our family, that means they small family, they nuclear family is growing bigger. So I think that you should hand it over to us. We can take care of it for you." And my mom, she's a tough woman. But when it's come down to family stuff like this one, because she have children too, and she know how it feel like we used to live like that. A family of 4 in one room. It was kind of uncomfortable, and you don't have any privacy on your own. You cannot express yourself. I can express myself right now because I have privacy. The fucking apartment with only myself. Back then I couldn't do such a thing, and I had to live like that until in the middle of high school. It was a tough time. Yeah, but it's gone by. Yeah. So anyhow, she understood what it felt like. So she was half in, half out. She was about to give it to them. But at the same time, they think that they are trying to take it away from her. Because those are treacherous people. And when she on the verge of hesitation, she didn't know what to do. So she kept delaying that for weeks. And they push her. They threaten her. I'm okay with the fact that they are brothers. They can settle that on their own, and that's not my duty. I'm just a son. I don't have any saying in that one. It's not my business, so. But when they threaten my mom with words, with violence, oh yeah, one motherfucker in that, they just threw a whole fucking flower pot at my mom just because she said no. What kind of a family is that? And I can tell you, nobody fuck with my family. Okay? I will play blood and dirt and tear with them. I don't give a fuck. Nobody do that. So when he did that to my mom, I went batshit crazy. The last day in my high school, my friend asked me to go out partying. I went straight home. The first thing I did, I slammed the door with my motorbikes, and just and they was all in shock. They were, what the fuck? What are you doing? And I just stepped out of my bike and just punched each one of them. Knocked out two of them, okay? 2 teeth flying. Pew! And the dispute went on. Months later, I had to move out just because of that. But I hope you understand what happened back then, because at that point, I got misunderstood all the time. From family members, of course. From relatives, there was a man. From friends either. Friend too. Some friend think that I'm just a violent and childish person. And back then I had a girlfriend, but she didn't understand. That was okay. I don't mind. Later on, I had another girlfriend, and I told her everything back then, and at first she was okay with that. But later on, when she met someone that I knew, and she told her everything else, that's when on the opposite side of understanding. She think that I am just some foolish man. Okay. But still, I hope you will never get into the same situation as mine, because when you are pushed into the corner, the only way is to get out, push forward, and get the fuck out of there. Okay? So anyhow, I stood my ground. And it was so fucked up back then that everybody know. Everybody in the family knows. Even the relative from abroad, they know. And my mother, she was disappointed with what I did, because after all, those motherfuckers are still her brothers, and she didn't want me to get involved because it would get a lot of shit going on after that. Okay? I couldn't focus on my study in university, and my score went straight down just because of that. But I didn't blame. I don't blame them, because that's worth my action. That's worth my own decision. Okay? Did I feel bad about it? No. But if I could have done something, will I do it? Probably. Because anyhow, I thought that my father went furious at me, or say some shit that I didn't want to hear. But he just say, when my mom is not there, she just say that I support you. Those motherfuckers needs to be punished. And back then I didn't understand why my father why my dad didn't join me back then. But later on when I grow up, I realized that he couldn't. Not because he didn't want to, but in his position it would be dangerous if he do so, because he's getting old, okay? And he's got a lot of shit going on. And from his side of a family, my father's side, there's some fucked up thing going on as well. So as a man who has, stand between the lines, it's kind of difficult. And you cannot blame him for not choosing anything I chose back then. But yeah, I know what it felt like to stand my ground. Even later on, when they're trying to talk to my father and they say, hey, what do you think about your son's actions? And they expected to hear from some words of comfort from him. All he did back then is say, fuck you. You don't touch my family. Fuck every one of you. I was so proud of that. I mean, what I did back then is not something that I'm proud of. But what I'm proud is when you have your ground and you stand on it. That's your values. A family man. Anybody can do anything to me, but they cannot do anything to my family. Okay? And even though after that I had to move out, I had to move here and there. Now I got here. I had to live away from my family. It's been years I didn't have a family meal with my mom and dad. Occasionally I come back to visit them, but it didn't feel like we have this constant thing, For some of you, it's a normal thing, something that you have daily. But for me, it's an occasions. It's a luxury, okay? But I accepted that. It's the ground that I chose and stand on. So we went through all these 3 criteria. So I think what is meant to be a man, that's in life, is you have all these 3 things. Okay? Because if you have all that, do you know what you're gonna need? Who you will become, and what can you do to improve your life? Today I learned from a comedy show on YouTube, Jimmy Carr. He said something really interesting. He said that happiness is the current situation that you are at minus expectations. When I first said that, holy shit, that's what cool. That's what eyes opening. It's true. Right now, if I'm sitting right here and I have a lot of expectation, I need to buy this, why don't I have a girlfriend right now? Why don't I have my family near me right now? I would be sad. I would feel so lonely. But applied to that formula, happiness is the current situation that I'm at minus expectation. That's will leave me happiness. Okay, same thing, same play. I'm sitting here all alone, all by myself. But I didn't have any kind of expectation right now. Retard maxing. I am retarded. Okay? Happy Friday, and I hope you have a cool weeks next weeks, okay? It's gonna be busy, it's gonna be tired, it's gonna be exhausting, but I hope you know that this too shall pass. Cheers.